Competitive advantage is important to understand specifically in relationship to the longevity of your company, specifically related to the type of service and the changing needs of your customers, so the resulting changes of your service over time. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by. At the Bold Business Podcast, we are normalizing important conversations. Yes, there are tips. Yes, there are ways to solve problems. More importantly, are going to be what do you need for yourself to be able to solve those problems and make the most of the education, the training, and the programs that you are already using. This is a supplement to that. It can sit on top of it, fuel your soul, fuel your mind, and most importantly, regardless of where you're at on your journey, maybe you're starting out, maybe you're ready to scale, maybe you're going through reinvention. The conversations we are having will help you at each of those stages. So hang around, see what's going on, and I look forward to seeing you engaging with our videos. When we know our competitive advantage today, we will know because there will be cues and information in data and conversations and senses with which we can ask questions around and dig a little deeper to suss out opportunities and threats. But what does that mean for today? We think of growth in a lot of different ways, and I know depending on where you're at in growth, you might define it differently. And in fact, the entire body of work that is the Bold Business Podcast and the conversations that we have about growth, you will hear many different variations of what growth is and what it means to individuals as well as the companies themselves. And so, as unique as what your competitive advantage is to you, that is what to tap into and find out and have it be a non-negotiable. And when you're committed to that, you now have a stake in the ground with which other decisions can occur, which cascading results can be thought out to find out, do we like this path? Do we not like this path? Is there opportunity here? How much? And make thoughtful, purposeful decisions. You see, in the end, our competitive advantage is a strength. If we don't claim that strength, we're leaving so much on the table. And that's actually something that I think that is so important to recognize. So there's a little bit of work to be done here. And this is reflective work. You, as a founder, as an executive, as a leadership team member, what are your strengths and weaknesses? And what are the company's strengths and weaknesses? And each person in that leadership team also needs to know that about themselves and the company. Because when we know our own strengths and weaknesses, we know when to ask for help. We know when somebody else likes a topic more than we do. We know where we can get a second set of eyes to make sure we are not accidentally avoiding or forgetting something important to continue to create each step with intention, knowing that what we've created for 12 months out, 24 months out, is something we're laying the foundation for every single day with every single piece of work we choose to do. So, growth has this wide range of meanings, which, by the way, could also be a strength or a weakness of your business if everybody looks at that differently. Hint, hint. The clearer everybody understands what the competitive advantage is of your organization, the clearer how each person's strengths add to the whole. The clearer gaps within the organization that need to be filled to achieve a goal become. We don't have to cover everything. We just have to cover the things that help us get to where we're going. And when we're unclear, the options are endless. The things that we run through in our head to go through, if then this, if then this. But what about how this fits in? Each one of those things takes up time. There is something to be said for optimization. There is something to be said for easy. The thing is, adaptability is intentional. It may feel easy. Operations, processes, systems make it easier, but the actual real work of relating the work we're doing today to the right work so that we're laying the bricks for tomorrow, for our strategic growth plan, for the way that we want to grow, to stay in tune with what's going on and uncover opportunities and threats along the way matter. So we have to own our strengths. And our competitive advantage is also rooted in what are we doing unique to our company, our unique selling proposition. Even more so, what is the way we do our work here? Every organization has a way that we do our work here. And guess what? That's your culture. So, don't like the way work is being done? Probably means you're also experiencing some of the telltale signs that occur when culture is weak. And I know we rely on processes. We all are. I know because they help us with ROI. They help us go, cool, we did this and we have that. Or we're taking a risk and here is our risk, here is the reward, and here are the steps along the way so we can see how right we were as we go along. Are we doing the right work? Was it the right work to be done? Is it truly the opportunity we thought? And did it result in whatever kind of growth we wanted? So while that's important, that's only part of it. While strengths and weaknesses are important, that's only part of it. While your unique way of doing business is important, it's only part of it. So one of the things that we do is we shortcut. We optimize, we create a new process, we have some steps so that we can keep doing what we're doing. And that's great. It's so great, in fact, that other people may start copying what your company is doing in that process. And then the whole industry might pick up on that. And now you have best practices. Well, the truth about best practices really is everybody's made the assumption that they're the best things to do. And guess what? When everybody does them, there is no competitive advantage. There is no opportunity for uniqueness. Everything becomes mediocre and the same. With that in mind, we must continue to work toward keeping our competitive advantage by understanding the assumptions we're making, by understanding the norms we have decided to work with, and really be aware of when our industry or we are joining industry norms or the norms that we have created are becoming common in the industry. That's a cue. Competitive advantage is at risk. So time, it comes back to what are we doing now that makes us last in the future? What are we doing now that allows us to build the right steps forward so that our business is here 5, 15, 20 years from now, if that's what we want? I know most of us want that. We want to continue to adapt and grow with our clients. We want to continue to provide a service. We want to have a succession plan so that the work that is being done can continue as long as it's necessary and helpful and useful and profitable. So remember, ROI matters. Remember, best practices are a great way to find assumptions. Remember, strengths and weaknesses are the key. Remember, the way work is done is here for you. And it's how you use it that determines your competitive advantage over time and how adaptable you can be. If everything is leveraged and something changes or must change right away, there's actually not a lot of flex, which means there's very little adaptability. So another way to look at adaptability here is capacity. We want to be using the right levers to optimize, to get the most for our effort and our money and our time. What we don't want to do is have it so stretched that one small issue, one small bump in the road could derail everything. And so where is that balance? That's adaptability. The capacity for you to change in the moment because the moment has arisen. And only when you're clear in your competitive advantage can you start thinking about capacity to be able to adapt and how leveraged you are when the need arises to flex and adapt quickly. Every single time I have a conversation, I take away something that I want to share with 25 people. I know when you're listening to this podcast, you're also listening for that and will have something that you want to share. In the comments, I would like for you to engage with us. What is that thing that you want to tell 25 people from this program? Here's why it's important. It's important because, yeah, there are going to be how-tos. Yes, there are going to be steps. Yes, you're going to be like, oh, I wish I wrote that down. I wish I wasn't doing this and I could actually take action on that right now. But guess what? You're not. So engage right now, because that one thing you want to share with others will be the thing that you can figure out how to incorporate in your business, in your workflow, in your style tomorrow.